So the lady, she was like, I was different when I was pregnant, and from now, like after my pregnancy, she saw me, and she knew that I was different. Maybe she was not able to understand that it was that period.
It was a phase.
It was a phase. So each time we are evolving. I know some ladies that during their period they stay 7 days in the hospital for those period, and there are some ladies that they, even if they don't go to the hospital, the way they behave during that period, either 3, 4, 5 days, it's a different thing. And all of these things does not even come with manuals.
It doesn't.
There are some ladies who do not even understand what to do when they see that thing first.
You know,
So it's a phase. We keep evolving, and we just have to grow in it as a woman.
we are born as women. We come into the world. It tell us, yeah, woman, prepare to get married. Yeah, woman, get a job. Yeah, woman,
You have to be submissive.
don't do this. You will not get into your husband's house like this. Don't do this. Your husband will not like this. Your husband will not like a fat woman. Your husband will not like a thin woman. You have to eat. Why?
Exactly. Your life is dependent on somebody, or they make you believe, not that your life is dependent. No, they make you believe that you have to live your life for somebody.
For somebody else. What happens to living my life for me?
For me.
Why can't I live my life for myself? Then I'm the best version of myself to be for any other person. You know, when we talk about adaptation, you have to embrace change. And in this society, the modern society, there are a lot of changes that are being met with resilience, because yeah, women will say they don't want to marry at all. Yeah, women will say, I will not have children. And in the African society, that is like a taboo. Telling your mother to her face, I don't want a child. She's like,
Oh, I'm not going to get married.
well, you made that same decision. We would, yeah. That's what they say. But that's it. We need people to understand that we're in a world where things are changing. And me evolving as a woman, I'm not doing this to disappoint you. I'm doing this
I'm doing me.
to be the best version of myself. You meet challenges in workplaces. I would speak especially with regards to you, because we have very few associate professors and doctors that are female that have not met challenges, because it seems to be a male dominated field. When
You don't even need to be in this field before, in the academics, in all fields of life. In all fields of life, they believe that you're a woman and
there's a certain
you don't have a voice.
Yes.
You don't have a voice, or you don't have anything upstairs. So you should be given instructions. You should be a subject to somebody. That do not expect that you should attain some kind of level in life.
You should be meant to obey and say yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Whenever you should submit.
Exactly.
When you want someone to submit, what exactly are they submitting to?
That's another thing.
Do you just get up and say, be submissive? What am I
One thing
submitting to?
people or men should generally understand that women, submission comes naturally from a woman. You do not need to force a woman to submit to you. If I see you that you own your own life, that you have something going on for you, I would genuinely, naturally submit to you. But if I say that you cannot even run your thing, how do I make my thing? How do I give you my things to run?
It's
automatic. It's not something that you can force. It's something that comes genuinely and naturally. So, as a man who wants a woman to be submissive, you should also own you, know who you are, identify you, and be able to run things. There are some men who cannot even run their own life.
Yeah.
They cannot even know that I should not wear purple and yellow. Or, so is it that kind of man you want me to? Is that kind of man you want me to submit my life to? Or a man who doesn't know that when I wake up in the morning, I should brush my teeth, or I should take care of myself,
or clean the house? It's
something as man
hygiene. Basic
exactly.
hygiene, as
something as minute as that.
after yourself.
If you cannot do that, then you believe that I want to make you decide for me the kind of career or the kind of life I want to live. No, it doesn't come like that. So as women, you have to, of course, know yourself. And because everything in our life, it changed.
Yeah. Adaptation.
So you have to understand that every process of the way, there's a period where you have to menstruate, then it goes to pregnancy. When you are underage, when you're not married, you want to understand that you want to stay away from some certain things
Protect yourself.
to protect yourself so that you don't get pregnant or get unwanted pregnancy. You get married, you want to get pregnant. It comes with its own
So we are in a
challenges.
constant state of evolving
Evolving.
and changing. If you remember what you said about the scenario with the lady that met you during pregnancy and postpartum, you evolved because
Exactly.
the woman you were as a pregnant woman was not the same woman after you've given birth. And it will not even be the same woman when your son is like 2, 3 or 4 years.
Of course.
So we are in a constant state of changing from one place to another. But
and still, the society wants us to still change for a man.
According to their tune. Society wants us to change according to their tune. But we are women. We need to even understand ourselves, understand who we are before we are changing to whatever.
What the society wants. Because there's a constant change going on in our life. The period when you give birth, you want to give suck to your child, there's a process. When you want to stop it, there's a process. It comes with a lot of challenges.
And then you go to work. You go to work and then you are maybe unfortunate. If you're breastfeeding, you now have an incident where you're leaking.
It happened to me once. And that time I didn't have a car. I was working in CIA.
And your dress stained.
I had to come back home. So I had to get a friend's jacket in the public transport to cover myself. And come, if I had my own car then, it would have been better.
Yeah.
I didn't have a car then. So I had to get on a public transport, cover myself, get down at my bus station, and go home. So a lot of things is going on in our life.
And nobody told you that that could happen.
Nobody told me. I was never prepared for it. So we keep learning in every situation. We keep learning and making adjustments in the situation. So I think the society should let women be and accept women for who they are. And being woman, it's relative to each individual.
Yeah, we all came from a woman. There's nobody on this earth that can stand and tell us you came from the sky, unless you're Terminator. We all came from a woman. And what society needs to understand is if you protect, if you comfort, if you harness this woman, the world will be a beautiful place. Because women are beautiful beings and we are the multitaskers of the century.
Yeah,
if we are harnessed, if we are cherished accordingly, the world will improve.
Exactly.
Because so many brilliant minds, so many inventions came from women.
Of course, I agree with you.
And in order to be able to adjust, we need to know ourselves. We need to be self-aware. We need to be authentic. We need help in knowing these things and embracing change accordingly. Because what if you not have somebody that will give you that jacket that day? What if you not have somebody that understood that, oh, you are back at work and maybe your stitches are hurting, so you have to sit a certain way. But what if you not have a husband that understood that, oh, right now my wife wants better. She wants to attain the highest level of education.
And is the most supportive man I've
and I
ever
have
seen.
to support her accordingly.
Yeah, it's supported.
So we see that when we have situations where people are changing with us and allowing us change, we blossom.
So we have to say that as a woman, change is something that is constant in your life. It's something that it's never going to go away. It's not something that we have a hand. It's something that is continuous. At every stage in your life, there is something that is going to be changing. So for you to be able to own up to that change, you have to be able to identify yourself. Own you. Be proud of you. Know who you are. Don't own yourself for what the society expects you to be, but own you for you. Own you for who you are, who you want to be proud of, who you want your family, the society to be proud of you. Know you, do you accordingly, and of course, according to whatever you believe you worship. Thank you for being with us on this topic, evolving, adopting, and evolving in life. Thank you very much. Our next topic is reproductive health and wellness. And with me here, I have.
Dr. Declan Emegano, chemical pathologist.
And Nurse Benedict.
Yes, you can be rest assured that this topic is going to be well discussed, and everything you are going to be hearing, you can be rest assured that it is evidence based because we have capable hands who are here with us to discuss this topic. So, Dr. Declan, um, in brief, what can you say about this topic in brief, just to introduce?
Reproductive health, I can say that's the entire biological system that happens in the life of a woman. It's caused across the hormonal changes.
Can you break it down to our layman's language, please?
Okay. Yeah, when we are talking about the biological system, we mean those things that a woman sees, like the changes that occurs in her body. So the entirety, that is the whole aspect of it. Then it can be things that happen internally. It can also be something that is external. So in a nutshell, that's what I mean by the biological processes that occurs, the hormonal changes that occurs in the life of a woman. So in terms of reproductive health, like I can split it into two, the internal organs and the external organs that
Okay.
makes up the reproductive system.
Yes,
Okay.
when you are talking about the internal and the external organs, can you tell us what are the components of those internal and external organs?
Okay, the internal organs, just to mention a few, that's the ovaries. Like when we were in primary school or secondary or university, like we do the simplest biology, whereby we draw something like Y shape. So they say the ovaries, the two ovaries, the left and the right. Then you have the fallopian tubes. Then after the fallopian tube, you have the uterus. Yeah, so I will stop it there. I don't know. I don't need to go
Deep.
details because other ones are coming up.
Yes.
Then the external organs are what we call the labia majora, labia minora, the vulva, the breasts. These are the simplest ones we can talk about that we see. I didn't mention all, I just give few examples.
What do you mean by lava valvora? I'm a woman, but it's I don't know. Like I'm a woman, but yes. Can you please explain?
Yeah, that I was talking about labia minora and labia majora. So this is what covers the vagina. You can call it the lips. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, this is one aspect of the reproductive health. But I want to know, what can you teach other men that are watching us? What do they have to know about women's reproductive health and the anatomy of women?
Okay. For my fellow men out there that is watching, yes, there are a lot of things that need to be understood about the woman anatomy and her reproductive health. Yeah, the most one that is preeminent that people talk about, that's menstruation. Yes, so yeah, almost because some people see it as taboo. Some societies, they don't need to hear about it. Some men, like, let's say what we call the African magic, they will say, when the woman is menstruating, you don't need to enter the room. Don't cook for me. So these are the things that we men, but it is not a taboo. This is just a natural phenomenon that occurs in every woman.
Before going further, can you explain to us what is the menstrual cycle? What do you mean by menstruation?
Okay, menstruation is a phenomenon or something that occurs in a woman for, we call it in a layman's language, as a professor say I should use layman's language. So that in layman's language is called menses, or called a period. Some people call it period. That is the blood flow that a woman experiences every month, every 28 days. Some goes beyond, some are less, but normally it has to occur for it's in 28 days. That's the when you say that the woman is menstruating. And it doesn't stop there. It is good for the woman, and it's also good for the man. I don't know. You may ask me why. Yes, why it's good for the man is without menses occurring, there will not be fertilizations. Pregnancy will not occur. So the woman has to menstruate, then go to other phases. Then there'll be fertilization. The man will meet a man. Then the woman will get pregnant. So you see, that's why I say it is a good thing. So women should see it as something good, not taboo. So that's what we, my fellow men, we should see it as what happens in the life of a woman. So that is you that is looking for baby. The woman must menstruate so that you get the baby. Because when she menstruates, she ovulates and she takes in, and the baby comes forth.
So in essence, you're saying that men should not shame a lady even when they see her clothes stained. They should rather help her to be protected and not to body shame her or see her as being dirty when they menstruate.
Of
Is
course.
that what you're trying to say?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So men should just be of help. Like, let's say, for instance, it could be your sister, and you're in the house, it could be your wife. So let me talk like as a sister. Now, she may not come and tell you I'm menstruating, but she may exhibit some signs, which normally when every woman will say, my stomach is paining me, you not see them lying down or being weak.
Or some it's just eating. Some people eating sugary things. Some people, some kind of behavior will just be different in them.
Other will not even be able to do anything.
Anything, yeah.
That is when we can come in as a man. She used to cook, but then that's okay, sister, since you are having stomach pain, let me boil the water for you. Then if it's your wife, you can help her in the kitchen, put the water on, prepare, fry the plantain before she takes her bed. Oh, honey, your water is ready for you to take bed. He said, I'm feeling pain. Say, don't worry, honey, get up.
I think you should tell men that every time that women is menstruating, they should buy them gifts. Because
Especially chocolates.
exactly. Because when without that menstruation, they will not be able to give you the children you so desire.
There are a lot of myths about menstruations. There are a lot of taboo about it. How can we change the way people see this? Because it has been difficult even for us while growing up. As a girl, it was difficult to change the period from when you are still a young girl and when you start menstruating. Like you feel ashamed. You are hiding even from your brothers. And when you're a girl, sometimes you can stain yourself. You cannot walk on the road. You are always scared of it. How can we change that mentality? How can we educate our boys, our men to help women with this?
Okay, thank you very much. This is a very vital question. In fact, I would say it's technical question. But to break it down, I think my grammar is becoming mud. But to break it down, the myths about menstruations, they are numerous. But I will just talk about two. Most times, like they are being restricted. The men or fathers, they are being restricted from attending to other places, like in some houses or some cultures. When a woman is menstruating, you don't go to certain places. So some cultures also, when a woman is menstruating, some men, they will say, don't cook for me. Then in some African contexts, they will say that when a woman is menstruating and the man is having something like what they call the African magic, and he goes there and that thing is just nullified. So, but how can a natural phenomenon that occurs in such woman be a problem to that person? Because these are concepts. Then another one that is also very main, this one goes to the woman, like when they are menstruating. I think we are going to dwell more on it in subsequent sections. Like when they're menstruating, they said they will not get pregnant. Some people say that when a woman is menstruating, you will not get pregnant. It's like a lot of things. It is possible, but and it's also possible for the woman to get pregnant. So we are going to tell you more about that. So let me not unveil the cat. Yes.
So what you are saying is we need to educate more our boys. We need to start from when they are young to know that it's a natural phenomenon and they have to assist.
Yes, that's why at home, sex education should start at home. If you as a mother, your daughter is growing up, you need to tell her this is what is going to see in future. I think that is the essence of this gathering, because if you don't tell her like this is what is going to see, how she should change herself when all these things are coming up, she may not know. Okay, let me give you a very good instance. Like I myself, I was confused. This happened here in this Cyprus we are in school. So a lady was walking and she was stained. Yes, I saw it. Like I don't know what to do, and she was walking in like
Ahead of you.
yes, ahead of us. So I noticed it that her body is stained. Wow, that's a like, what do I do? Because I don't, can I go and cover her up? So I looked at her. Now, I said, it could not be that she went to ease herself and she could not finish the urine because she like were having urine retention, what do you call urine retention for men that is suffering from prostate or something. If it's an old man, I would say, okay, she's having, but this is a young lady, like in her 20 something, 28. So I know that, okay, she's menstruating. Now, what I did then was, because she was walking ahead, I was not feeling comfortable. Now, some ladies passed. I said, excuse me. Now they turned. I called one of them. So there were two. One of them came. They were white, and what we call whites. So they speak English. I say, look at this lady. She said, she now just did like this. So she rushed to her. And when she rushed her, she just put her hand in her shoulders, whispered something. She herself was shocked. The one by the side, I've communicated my message and I find my way. But I think that's the best thing to do, because why I didn't approach her to tell her that she might feel uncomfortable. So that's why I pointed it to a lady that this is what's really happened. Oh, thank you so much.
That was a nice word.
Yeah. Okay.
But in a situation whereby there was no lady around you to rescue, I think it would not be bad if you approach her. I think the manner in which you would approach her would matter if she would be embarrassed or if she would appreciate your gesture.
Yeah, if there is nobody, if like she's the only person, I will tell her. Yes, I will tell her. I will make it in a way as simple as possible that she will not feel embarrassed. In fact, I will start by like getting her attention. Then afterwards, I now communicate my message. So that's what. But since I have options, I believe that since there are many women, they are in best position to tell her to um go and dress up. So I don't know what happened next, but immediately they told her, they stopped by the side. I walked.
So you were saying that parents should educate, sex education should important for parents, but I feel that it should not be to the girl child alone. Also,
Exactly.
they should also educate the boy child as well, and how to help ladies in this kind of situation, because I've seen videos of secondary school, high school children
Exactly.
mock boys mock ladies who got their clothes stained, and that affects their mentality, and even maybe might restrict them from wanting to go back to school the next day. So as parents, we should always say it is not, or try to educate our children, both boys and girls, about these things. And even as adults, let us always try to pass our message clearly and in love to whoever we find in this kind of situation.
And when we are talking about menstruation, it's not just that period of menstruation, it's a whole cycle about it. The women pass through different cycle. On a man's perspective, they don't usually understand it. Some say that it's evil spirits or they are bipolar and all. The topic is too big. There are a lot of things to say about it. That's why you guys should stay tuned for the next episode where we will talk more about it. We will talk about the different phases, the different reactions, the hormonal change, how you can identify and understand your body through maybe the color of your period, through your skin, and the effects of birth control, how your body reacts to different things. Even the foods intakes that you are taking always affects your body. So stay tuned for the next episode. But for now, Dr. Declan, can you tell us what you know about these phases and the hormonal changes?
Yeah, when we're talking about phases in menses, like I said, is something that's 28 days. Now, there's what we call the menstrual phase. That is day 1 to 5. What I mean by day 1 to 5 to a layman is that first day the woman starts seeing blood. Then first day, second day, third day, 5. Some runs to 4, some 5, depending the woman. That's what we call the menstrual phase. So after this phase, we have what we call the follicular phase. So this okay, before I go to the follicular phase, there are a lot of changes as she puts on. She's confused. She's in pains. She have cramps, what they call menstrual cramps. So and these are like her whole body system is in disarray. So now, women, we should expect to see that her behavior will change because of those pains she's passing through.
Changes she cannot even
Explain.
No.
Yes, because what happens is, I don't want to go for. What happens is there is what we call the transmission of nerve impulses to the brain, the master brain, the action potential. So it goes to the brain, and the brain sends signal to the body. So now the sodium and potassium pumps that are aligned. So it sends that signal. Once this thing occurs, the woman is in disarray. So now, but the cramps, like clinically, if your cramps exceed like 24 hours, you are unable to do what you can do before, then you need to seek medical attention.
Yes, there is even a study that says that the pain of menstrual cramps are like a heart attack pain.
Yes.
It can be that
serious.
Yes.
So the other phases, minus the menstrual phase, we have the follicular phase, which is from 6 to 13. Then after this phase, then you have what is called the ovulation phase, like so ovulation, whereby there is high, the woman is peak, trying to for receive men. Like if it's in animals, you say that the animal is on heat. Yeah. So then after this phase, it now goes to follicular phase. That's PMS. Yes. So this phase, the woman goes back, like it's trying to go back to the day 1. Now yes, that's why I say it's 28 cycles. So in this phase now, you expect to see her behavior changing again. So you be like women, this lady, this lady that was laughing with me yesterday, today, yes, I ask people, they will say it's some manja, they say it's evil spirit. No, she's having some hormonal changes. That is something that is occurring in her body. I'm not talking about the hormonal per se, like what I mean in terms of menses. Yes, because when I say hormonal, it's another thing altogether. So in terms of menses, so she's having a lot of changes undergoing in her body. So that's why she's behaving that way.
Okay, on this topic, before we leave it till the next chapter or next podcast,
Okay.
Every woman has 28 days, or it could be more, it could be less. And if yes, which is the best cycle? You were saying 20, some people have 28 days. You say some people have, I'm asking now,
Okay.
is it 28 days generally for people?
Okay.
Could it be more? Could it be less? If yes, which cycle is the best?
Okay. Yeah. Let me start from the last one. There is nothing like best cycle. Yes. So it's some people will have short cycle. In fact, some people will have the shortest. Yes, before the blood finish, another cycle is coming up. Yes. So that's why I will say that means that somebody can even get pregnant when she's menstruating. Those of them that has the shortest cycle. So those of them that has long cycle, okay, it goes to 28 days, 28 days. Then after that, the woman goes back to her life. So it's something. So I encourage us, my fellow brothers, to let us encourage them during this period. They're in pains, and assist. If it's your wife, you can do some domestic things to help her out. If your sister, you can take up. She cannot come and tell you that I'm menstruating. She may not tell you that. Yes, but she can exhibit sign that her stomach is paining her. This is doing. Then we
educate ourselves.
yes.
So, viewers, you will agree with me that this is a very broad topic which we cannot finish now. So, this is just a tip of an iceberg of what you are expecting in our next podcast, on an extensive podcast on this topic. We will dwell more on this topic. But for now, our take home on this topic is that encourage every person that is around you, every lady that is around you during their circle, either as a father, either as a brother, as a friend, as a husband. Try to understand that they cannot even explain what they are going through at that present moment. And if you see any lady who is stained as a result of being on a menstrual cycle, don't laugh at them. They did not put themselves, they did not make a choice to be a woman. Rather than laughing at them, support them in the best little way which you can. Thank you very much. We are on our final topics for today, and it's power of saying no, boundaries, and self-care. Also, our body, our rules, women's health and wellness. And with me to discuss this topic, we have.
My name is Ero Seri Agba, counseling psychologist.
And I'm Bachabaneka.
Okay, so Mr. Sere, can you please tell us what you understand by the word of no? That word no. When you hear the word no, what does it mean to you? And especially when it's coming from a woman.
You're a married man.
Uh,
Does it feel
well,
your wife tells you no?
first of all, what is no? No is just an outright refusal to do something that you do not want to do. And in most cases, you might not even give a reason. You might just say no, or you may want to give a reason for why you are saying no to something, which will make the thing more clear and more understanding to whom you are saying the no to. And then the second one is about married, okay, and how does it feel like being told no? Definitely, it may sound very strange. Someone that I respect these people's decisions a lot. So if you say no, okay, fine by me. If you say yes, fine by me. Because I believe that everyone has the right to make choices, and they can also be able to prepare themselves for the consequences of those choices that they have made. So for me, if someone says no to me, okay, fine. And I say, if I wish to probe further, I can say, but why do you want to say no? And if the reason is compelling enough, then I'll say fine. But definitely, I must try to respect the decision, especially when it comes to marriage, because it's a two-way thing. If I consistently say I reject the no's of my wife, then I should also expect that she should also reject my own no's. Because if I acquiesce to her demands most times, I should also be able to be acquiesced to as well.
So you're saying that no should not be gender based.
No, of course not. It's two-way
Anybody
thing. Anybody,
is
even a little child can say
can
no.
say no,
So
and we should just try to understand
where it is coming
why
from, why they're
there's
doing
no
that.
and where it's coming from.
Yes.
Okay, so when we are now saying the power of no, boundaries and self-care, now in terms of women saying no to advances from men, how do you think a man should handle this when a no, like you now we'll take it in two parts, from the single aspect and from the married aspect. So when the word no is coming, let's take it from the single aspect first to say, now the no is coming from a woman to a man. How should a man handle it?
Okay, it's a very simple thing. You do not have the right over another person. You only have a right to yourself and to your possession. Any other thing that you are trying to demand, or let me put it this other way, any other thing you are trying to ask from someone that is not given to you becomes a command or a demand, or you're trying to possess a sense of strength. And if we look, coming from the Bible, if we look at it, the book of James, it says, people do not get what they want if they don't act properly. And because they don't ask properly, what happened? They take it wrongly. And that might lead to problems. So if a lady tells a man no, the first thing you should do is just accept the no. But if you are those the kind of men who would say, I like the hard to get.
No, you're saying no with your mouth, but your body.
Yeah, yes. So yes, you can continue to shoot your shot, but if the no becomes so persistent, then you should understand that this person is not truly interested. So you move on. After all, like they say, there are many fishes in the river. So if this one is saying no, okay, you move to the next one. Yeah.
But of course, do you know that, or is it possible? Don't let me say, do you know? Is it possible for a woman to consistently say no, but her body is saying yes, and her attitude is saying yes?
Yes, in a way. Sometimes most women who come for counseling will say they don't really understand themselves. And that's why we have a psychology book called Psychology of Women. We don't have Psychology of Men. I'm sorry to say, but that's the truth.
Because men don't even know what they want, actually. So we don't need to look for a psychology of men.
It simply shows the complexity of who a woman is.
Women are saying women are complex.
Yes, they're complicated human beings in a way. They are lovingly complicated. Only if they understand themselves, then that complication becomes very narrowed. So what I'm trying to say is, most women sometimes will tell you, I think I have a case I was handling. She said she doesn't like fair men. She doesn't like dark men. And they like them tall. She likes them, handsome, with a good sense of dressing. So the following week, I saw her with a black guy, very black. When I mean the guy is so dark. I called her and I said, excuse me, but you said these were your preferences. Why are you following this man? She just said, you will not understand. And I said, what will I not understand? You know that you are breaking your own rules in order to please yourself. And I told her, number one, you say you need a fair guy. This one is dark. You need a tall guy. This one is not tall. You need somebody who has the sense of dressing. Obviously, this person is zero in dressing. If she was the one now teaching him how to dress properly. Well, what I'm trying to say is the human mind, as it is very complex. Most people cannot truthfully decipher what they want or what they need. In other words, they can say something now and then switch
to another.
So that's one of the issues that is with human beings. This is on both sides, not just for the women. That's why they say it is easier to train and tame and predict an animal than difficult to predict a human being. So that's the truth.
My question is in terms of boundaries. We're talking about her body, her rules, or saying no and setting boundaries. Before I explain how it is like for a woman,
understand the woman's psychology.
Yeah, for a woman to set boundaries. For you, when you hear the word boundary, or maybe again, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that you're married. When your wife tells you she's trying to set a boundary,
she needs some space. We use that word.
I don't want to call it space per se because it falls under boundaries. It could be space at this time. It could be something else another time.
Definitely.
But in general, when she starts saying these things, how does it echo? How does it sound in your head?
Well,
and how do you react to it?
First of all, marry who is alike with you in terms of compatibility.
I thought they said like poles repel.
Never. That's a very wrong thing. It's proven if you are sexually high in your demand for sex as a person, as a man, look for somebody of the same sexual prevalence with you, because that will be a problem. If you are the kind that don't watch movies and then you want to marry somebody that likes watching movies, there will always be some issue in the house, because sometimes the man might just want to stay up till night watching the movie and then the lady will be sleeping. Sometimes the lady may like to cuddle, and then the man is that kind of, the martial type that don't really like cuddling too much. That's why you should marry somebody that has the same preference as you would like for peace to reign in the home. So in terms of boundary, for me, I'm someone that likes space. When I mean space, I might touch you from morning till night, and when it's time to say, I need my me time, even within the marriage, I just tell my wife, I just like to be alone at this point in time. At first, it seems like as if she did something wrong, but you have to explain that, yes, you didn't do anything wrong. I just want to sit in the parlor and just sit there and just have a time for myself, to think about myself, just to be there. That's one part of psychology of men. A man can decide to just go somewhere just to relax. But women are more or less of a more social uh, being, of interaction, talk, fashion, and so on and so forth. But a well-matured man should know that work, family, work, and self comes. But if you are single, okay, you can just put yourself first and your work. But when you're married, family, work, and self. Because once you take the responsibility of getting married, you have actually given up yourself for the family. So now in boundaries, your wife as a person also go through a lot of stress. For example, taking care of the kids, cooking for you, cleaning the home, and then you're coming at night to say you want to have sex. That's one boundary most men don't understand. Want to have sex. And the woman is telling you, oh, honey, I'm tired. Some men will say, so what did you do? I'm very tired. I cleaned the house. Is it not your job? You're supposed to know they are supposed to clean, to take care of the child and the home. Those are certain boundaries that should be set in place.
Okay.
You as a man, you should understand that your wife is also a human being like you. What if it's the other way around? You have gone to work, stressed out, you drive through the traffic, and then you come home and madam is already wearing a lovely lingerie waiting for you. And then your penis cannot stand up. You see, that's another problem. And the woman will not start telling you, when it was my turn the other time, you were complaining. Now it's my turn, now you cannot do now. You see, problem. So once you respect each other by communicating properly, there's a lot of understanding anyway and patience. So once you communicate properly, then you can build a wonderful home. Do not lord your own needs over the other because you feel you need to satisfy yourself. Because the cars do turn always in marriage.
Always.
It always turns. I don't know how God did it, but it just turns. Because today you may say, I love to take ice cream. And your husband might say, I don't want ice cream today. And you insist that two of you must share this ice cream. And the husband will say, I don't want, please, I don't want. You have to respect his own decision. Then the car's turn and say, okay, today I feel like licking ice cream now. Come, let's lick this ice cream that you told me yesterday that we need to lick. And then the woman is telling you, I don't have appetite for ice cream. So you see the problem. So we need to understand that it's a two-way thing. You have to respect your partner's decision. And this thing begins from the family, from where the child grew up from. So if you have a family whereby it is just you must from day one do like this, do like this, do like this, then you come to be a very rigid individual when you deal with your wife and your children. But you need to be a sense of flexibility in everything.
Boundaries are not walls. That's what we need to understand.
Definitely.
Boundaries are just bridges to build healthy relationships. And it's not just in the sexual aspect. There are some people that will tell you, do not touch my phone.
Mm.
That may be where they set the boundary. There are some people that will tell you, please, honey, as you're going out, I would love that you are back before 10.
Mm.
There are some people that will tell you, I do not want in-laws in my home.
Mm.
That could be where
People will tell you, I said last surgery, towels.
Yeah, towels with it.
look where you should actually share towels with another person.
No, in marriage, definitely.
Nobody should share towels with another person.
No, there are some people want it. Some people want it.
Smile twice.
Someone like me, I get irritated easily and I like my things the way I want it. But it's something I just add to, and my husband will love it. He believes that when we use things together, we become more close. He believes it, that he feels me in it and everything. It took me time to be able to.
I hope you are
adapt.
recording.
She understands. So it's relative to each individual. You have to understand it. He did not come and lord it over me that we have to share trials. He didn't come to lord over me. He had to make me see reasons, and he allowed me. With time, I was comfortable to be able to do it. I've seen a video recently. I saw it. One celebrity in Nigeria. She's comfortable using her husband's toothbrush. The husband was not comfortable. The husband went out to go and buy them separate toothbrush. I was like, this is your toothbrush. This is mine. I bought different colors. So don't tell me you mixed it up. You understand? So individuals are different. We are relative. So we have to be able to understand ourselves. You understand? And when it comes to this thing called marriage, it's flexible.
There's no manual.
There's no manual.
There's no manual.
Because what works for him in his house can never work for me. So you cannot say, I want my marriage like that of Mr. Sere. You don't know what Mr. Sere is sacrificing that is making it work like that.
Exactly.
You might not be able to sacrifice it like that. So what happens is, don't be too rigid in marriage. And don't come to a marriage with a manual. I watched one movie. The husband was begging the wife too much. That was why the woman was misbehaving. Because of that, I will not beg any woman. It will affect you. My father don't used to say sorry to my mother. My mother used to be the one to cook. And so because of that, no. Understand your partner. Understand what works for her. In our time, men were so provider. So it was easy for them to dictate what they want in their house. But in this era, women also provide.
And they want to.
And they will want to. So in this aspect, you cannot lord over and say, this is what I want you to do. My food must be on my table by 9.
No, you must cook fresh meals every day.
So you should be able to understand that you have to bend rules. And it also evolves around boundaries as well.
Yeah.
She might be there from morning to night playing with you. In the next minute, she just doesn't want to talk to
Like you said.
Do you understand? So you have to understand that it's not like she's angry with you or anybody's angry. She just doesn't want to talk
At that time.
And you have to accept her like that. There are some ladies that I've heard the priest say that a marriage didn't last 1 year because of toothpaste.
Because of the way he presses it,
Because the way he presses it. The wife wants it to be pressed from
the bottom.
But the man's like, I'm buying this thing. It doesn't matter. Press it anyhow. If it's finished, I'll buy it. And he irritates, and they were not able to agree on one thing. And
it starts with toothpaste.
I'm telling you.
And then it will move to put the seat down in the toilet.
Exactly.
And then it will move to when you get up from the bed, please arrange
the
it.
bed.
And it will move to when you put the plates in the sink, clean it before you put it. It will move to remove your slippers before you enter into the rug.
Exactly. And you know this, our men, there are babies that you need to keep teaching every day. No. Yes, there are babies. We need to keep teaching them every day. I'm sure if your wife was here, you would not say you bet you before. All men are like that because you are babies and all men are babies, right? And someone like a joke somebody said, we should not use that word baby for you people again because it's affecting you. People who are baby like
they are becoming the babies.
Yes, that we should not call you babies again. You know? Yes, it showed the sweetness, but I think it's getting into you people's head because we call you baby. You want to act like a baby. That we have to tell you everything. Exactly.
You want to be pampered, you want to be spoiled. It's a two-way thing. That you want to be pampered, I also want to be pampered. That you want to be touched a certain way, I also want to be touched a certain way. What is good for the goose is good for the gander.
So that's why we should have effective communication. The effective communication should begin from the relationship process. I use my mom for example. My dad is not Catholic. My mom is Catholic. And then when he was coming, he would tell him, I will not leave my Catholic church for you. Just know now. So if you know you are not ready, leave me alone. And if I born the children, I will baptize them in the Catholic church. I can follow you to Anglican church. And if you like, you can follow me to Catholic church. Okay. He agreed. All 5 of us baptized Catholics, and we are Catholics. So if you don't communicate what you want, if you do not, I know some men may lie.
I was going to go there.
Yeah, some will lie. So you need to understand that there are ways you can solve the issues in the marriage. I also have another aunt who's also married a Muslim. So when it got to the issue of the marriage in the church, there was now a bit of resistance from him after he had agreed. But the truth is, she was very docile, very understanding as a wife. And because of those things, and a prayer also, he finally came one day and said, let's go and do it in the church. So it's not that the man has said no, and then every day you're always fighting him. You must carry me to church. You must carry me to church. It will, in fact, reinforce the attitude of the man to say, I am the one in charge of this house. We need to understand that humility is also a very vital part on both sides. This is not only just only woman or man. It's a dual process.
Speaking of humility, setting a boundary, you telling, maybe, let's say, let me go back to the example of, I don't want in-laws in my house. There's a way you will say these things and the person will not see it as a form of attack. Because you can say your boundaries and then it sounds like I'm fighting with you. But these same boundaries can be said in a way that is like, honey, I don't know how to manage a lot of people in my house. And I feel like it will be a lot of pressure if we have in-laws. But as you're saying this thing, bear in mind that it should not reach your turn and you say, my mother.
Exactly.
So if you're saying you don't want in-laws, it should be you don't want in-laws. Is in the book of James, it says, if your yes is yes, your yes should be yes. If your no is no, your no
standard.
yes, your no should be no. So you say, oh, darling, please, let's try to manage this house without in-laws. It should be sweet.
In the manner.
Yes, it should not come like you're exercising authority over this person. That's what we're complaining about here. So I feel like we, as women, in setting our boundaries, we should also bear in mind that these people are our partners. They are not dogs or cats. Yes, it's my body, it's my rules, but you chose to be in marriage, unless you were forced. If you chose to be in marriage, you want to give your body, you want to give your rules. Bear in mind that this person also has his own body, his own rules.
That's yours.
And the boundaries you are setting, yes, they're supposed to protect you. Say no to domestic violence. Say no to unpaid labor. Say no to emotional abuse, because abuse must not be only physical. Say no to those things to friends that will give you bad advices. Say no to in-laws that will hurt you. Say no to all these things, but also say yes to people that are loving, people that are supporting, people that would push you to grow further, to a spouse or a partner that would love you and treat you well.
Yeah, that's very correct. And I agree with you. And we are going to be saying and closing to say that let's understand that marriage is like a partnership. And even a dormant partner in a partnership organization has its own responsibility. So if every partner in every business does their responsibility as they are supposed to, and the organization is going to achieve its mission and its vision. So this is what marriage is. It's not about dominance. If a man is insisting that he is the head, the woman is also the neck, and there is no head that is going to function without a neck. So try to understand and live in unison by communicating. And communicating is not shouting. Find the best way to communicate, not dominance. And also, dominance can also come from women. You know, some women try to
be domineering. Yeah.
in their marriage.
And
So
control.
it's not about who is in charge. No. Let's try to move this forward by having an understanding and compromising when necessary. At times, the man will have to compromise. At times, the woman will have to compromise. And that is how we can move forward, by understanding that everybody has boundaries. Everybody has their own involvement. Thank you for joining us on this podcast. And like I said earlier, this is just the tip of an iceberg. We shall be communicating with you when we'll have a live section where we'll be discussing the questions you are going to drop on the comment section, where we'll be able to relate live section. We'll communicate with you and we'll let you know. Thank you very much. Please do not forget to drop your comments on the comment section. We will do well to attend to everyone. And like I said, we would also come live to discuss all of these questions. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good time.